What's up guys, welcome back to another PvM coaching video. Today we're looking at another kill from Araxor. This is from Avian Prime though, but he does play the game slightly different. I think he camps a defender. There's a few other things as well. These are all things that are worth talking about too, because in my opinion, you don't have to play the game the most optimal way every single time. You can still, play your own play style, and this is kind of like why I want to go through this. But also Avian Prime is an absolute legend, so I want to help him out as much as I can. And we're going to see what we can do here. So Avian, I know you said there's a bit of a interesting intro here as well because of your name, Avian Prime. So we're going to take a look at this and see what you've done, and then once we've done that, we'll get into all the gear and stuff, guys, and we'll go from there. But let's take a look at this clip. Anyway, if you enjoy, leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new. If you want to submit a kill of your own, I can coach through that as well. Then you can just send me a message on Discord and I'll explain what to do and stuff. And like I said, in these series, it's pretty much just me looking at people who think I can help them improve at PvM. Even though I know I'm not the best at PvM in the world, if we can help in any way, that's our goal. And let's go. Got the Zook intro music. Avian's face a little bit hidden here. Okay.
What makes you think you have what it takes?
Look at this editing. Brilliant.
Avian
Okay, you've actually put the equipment on the screen. This is brilliant. Thank you for that, Avian. That's that's pretty cool. You did mention in the description that some of the stuff's cut off, but it's nothing big. For some reason, it's zoomed in a weird way. But there's nothing missing that we need to worry about, so that's fine. So your equipment is full crypt bloom, blast fusion boots. Well, apart from the boots and the gloves, celestial hand wraps. You've got arcane blood necklace, which is the blood amulet of fury, I think, similar to that. We've got the mage cape, I think, is the Tokar Cal Mage thingy, whatever. Ancient lantern, which is the tier 85, I think, or tier 80 defender. Seismic 1, tier 90. Look at the dwarves, scripture full, and a maniacal aura. You're using a Ripper Demon with scrolls and a spirit cape. So you don't need scrolls straight away. You don't need to use scrolls at Araxi, because Araxi is immune to familiar damage. But that's okay. So augments, you've got precise 6, genocidal, you've got biting 4 on your lantern. Enhanced devoted 4 and crackling 4 on your top. And then you've got enhanced devoted for absorbative on your legs. So you're stacking enhanced devoted on your top and your legs. What I would do is I would take biting 4 off of your lantern. You don't want to just break this perk, by the way, because it's quite expensive. Oh wait, that's a weapon biting 4. Oh, you can't, because it's a weapon gizmo if you're biting 4. Well, you want to get biting 4 on your armor, basically, because you want aftershock or equilibrium on your lantern. There's gonna be a lot of different. There's gonna be quite a big difference in damage. I think it's like 5 or 6% or something, which is noticeable definitely. So you got relic powers, death ward, fury of the small berserker's fury. They're fine, and you are using them on fire effect. Look at you, you're so organized. This is great. Inventory. We'll take a look at your inventory as we get there. That's fine. Okay, so we've got the inventory with the. You have got the overload, the combination overload. You are using which? You have power burst of feats. Oh, that's to do with your familiar, right? Makes your familiar do more damage. But again, you can't damage Raxi with the familiar. So it would just be... The reason you use Ripper Demon here is for the passive effect. But if you don't have the highest accuracy, you're better off using an accuracy aura. We'll see if you splash. You shouldn't do on Maniacal. I don't think so. You got Vuln Bombs. Again, these don't work at Rax. They are incredibly useful to use everywhere else. But at Raxi, there's just no point. It really doesn't make any difference. You got a couple of brews to do combination eating, and you are using the rock tails. Now you're using crypt bloom, so I'm going to assume with animate dead you probably don't need the fish. I'm going to just assume. I was just going to guess that you don't. But we'll see what happens. And then also you are using exannuate as well, which is good. Exannuate is definitely good at Araxi. There's no point in using Insight Fear, in my opinion, unless you're using the Staff of Armadillo. We also need to mention that your DPS curse is not on. I think you probably will get it on at some point, maybe. But you want to make sure you have that DPS curse on all the time. You can set up quick prayers. I don't use them myself because I have them keybound, and I would just have like them keybound together. But if you do forget them sometimes, make sure you put like the quick cast on, the quick prayers on, and then you just need to click the little icon and it'll come on for you. But using exannuate's good. You've got the Book of Full, you've turned it on, that's fine. I'm pretty sure the Book of Full is probably best here, except for Grim. So you don't want to be using Grim anyway. It's freaking expensive, and yeah. So you're getting your tsunami off. Let me just look at your revolution bar while we're here. So you got your thresholds at the beginning. I think it looks like you're clicking a few things, which is so meaning that you're probably you are using Revolution plus plus. It looks like very much so, but you are interrupting that sometimes. So you're like a midway between normal Revolution and Revo plus plus. So what I would suggest you do with that is try and get used to using your thresholds and ultimates manually if you can, because you will get a lot more damage out of it if you do that way. You can keep track of your stuff a lot easier. Cool. So you've dealt with that pretty quick. You got through that phase fairly fast, to be honest. You beat the web at least. So that's important. And so far you've not eaten anything. I didn't think you would, in all honesty. I don't think you're probably going to get through this kill with very little food being used, in which case if you do, you can quite easily swap those rocktails to blue blubber jellyfish, and that way when you eat them you don't lose any adrenaline. So that's very important too. So we're gonna skip through this. The only thing in this phase really worth talking about is if you stole adrenaline. Oh, you have an adrenaline urn. Yeah, it's fine, you got an adrenaline. Let's just skip through. Okay, so there you go. We've gone through that. You didn't lose any health or anything. You don't have your DPS prayer on here. I wonder if you're going to put it on after this now. You're going to kill off the spiders from the eggs because they're a pain in the freaking ass. Cool, cool. And then you want to move down, and you probably want to drop a sunshine here. It's not spiders, so what I would do is I'd just drop sunshine straight away and get your damage out as quick as you can. Or you're going to throw off your thresholds, which is fine. You've used a power burst of feats again, which is you kind of just wasting their money on the scrolls here, in all honesty. But not everyone knows that you can't damage racks with familiars anyway. It's the same with necks, by the way. The reason you use nihils at necks is because familiars can't damage necks either. So using Ripper Demon here is purely for the 5% passive damage buff that you get. So killing off racks here, nice and easy. Again, it's kind of just your DPS, I would say, that could be changed. What I would suggest you do is, wait, do you have, how much money have you got? This is a bit nosy. You got 68 mil. What you should save up for, because I think you have a Calphite Rebounder now, right? If you don't have Greater Concentrated Blast yet, you 100% should get that. That would be a massive increase in damage for you. Greater Concentrated Blast is massive. It does so much more damage, and it would help with your DPS a ton. That being said, though, you're not doing too bad, in my opinion. I think this is okay, but you are sitting on very high adrenaline a lot, so you want to be dumping the crap out of that adrenaline. And if you can get yourself to an Essence of Finality too, like put this on your shopping list as well, right? Get an Essence of Finality, Gothic Staff in there, and dump that adrenaline. You don't want to be sitting this high on adrenaline. You really, really don't. It is basically setting at really high adrenaline and not dropping off all the thresholds is pretty much DPS loss. So I understand early on with magic, like right now, you really don't have anything to worry about. Okay, this is kind of big. So you are nearly getting to 100% adrenaline here. You have Tsunami at the beginning of your bar. Now, I understand you've probably got it at the beginning of your bar because of adrenaline reasons. Like you cast that and then your crits count as getting you extra adrenaline, right? So you may be thinking, that's a good idea. It's kind of really not worth it. So the only reason you would use Tsunami is, one, if you have Insight Fear on and it only costs 40% adrenaline, then it's fine. Like Tsunami is a good damaging ability at that point. But you're not using Insight Fear, and there's not really much point to use Insight Fear unless you have the Staff of Armadillo. But also, you're not using a Grimoire, so your crit rate isn't that high, so you won't get that much out of the Tsunami. You're 100% better having Sunshine keybound somewhere down here, or just click it if that's more comfortable for you, but not having Tsunami here. Like, I wouldn't use Tsunami at all unless you're using AoE, unless you're doing AoE. If you're using it for AoE, then cool, that's fine. But 100%, unless you're on Insight Fear, Tsunami is a massive waste. But also keep an eye on like your target's health and stuff, because I understand you're on you're on Revo plus plus here, so when it gets to 100%, it's just going to use it anyway. And maybe you were clicking it to try and avoid it, I don't know, but you don't want to be casting 100% adrenaline right before you go into thing. Yeah, so you've pressed number 1. I think you keybound. I don't know exactly what happened there, actually. Let's just have a look again. Wait, how did that change? Wait, you haven't clicked it. You're clicking here. This doesn't have a keybind on it. Does it? It doesn't. Oh, it does have a keybind. It's on like the colon. I assume you've probably remapped that to your mouse or something. So yeah, you don't want to be casting Tsunami this close to phasing, because you're going to drop all of that, and now you kind of have 10% adrenaline to deal with when you get over here. And because you're crossing over as well, you're going to lose quite a lot of that Tsunami buff timer. In fact, you may have been robbed. It doesn't look like the Tsunami buff is here in the slightest. Did it not count? Did it die? I think if you didn't damage racks with the Tsunami, then it wouldn't have counted, right? Oh, you did, but I think because you phased, you didn't get the buff. That's really kind of unfortunate. So now you kind of just have to like start this fight without any adrenaline. So keep that in mind. I would just completely remove Tsunami from your action bar and move it further down. Like remove it from the beginning. Don't have it at the beginning, put it further down. I'm going to link in the description, by the way, a good wiki action bar guide thing. So show you what a good action bar setup would be for Revo++. The way you've got it set up is fine. Mostly, what I would suggest you do though is have your bleeds first, because you don't have combust on here at all. Combust is very important. It does a lot of damage. So you want combust. You want this corruption shot like second. So I think you do greater concentrated blast, corruption shot, dragon breath, combust, and then it's like other basics like, I don't know, rack and ruin, and then chain, all that sort of stuff. But I'll link the action bar wiki and I'll talk to you on Discord about it as well, dude. We'll go over this and set this up. But your revolution bar could definitely have some improvements, and we'll talk about that. You want to be using this, by the way. Rack and ruin is so big. So I know it does give you stacks for not using it, but it's big. It does a lot of damage. But yeah, the Tsunami, unless you're using Insight Fear and Staff of Armadillo or doing AoE, just drop that down in priority. It's just a waste of adrenaline at that point. It's 100% adrenaline, and it doesn't hit, like it hits pretty hard, but it doesn't hit hard enough to justify 100% adrenaline, in my opinion. So I would definitely just budge that down a little bit. So again, you've not eaten here, by the way, because of your crit bloom. You're just not eating. You're probably going to eat in this phase a little bit, I would say. It would surprise me if you don't. But like, you are not struggling, because crit bloom's so freaking good, dude. Like, it's so good. So you can definitely swap those rock tails out for blue blubbers. I think it's cheaper, and you don't cost adrenaline when you use when you eat and stuff. So even though you haven't eaten yet, at some point you will eat, and it'll cost you adrenaline. It's definitely worth doing that. But so far it's looking pretty good. Your prayer flicks maybe could use a little bit of practice, but again, it's practice. There's not much you can do about it. Your prayer flicks are happening. They're fine. Like, they're all good. You can just, it's just going to come with time, you know. And it is what it is. So what I would have done here is I would have probably saved your adrenaline a little bit and sunshine to either right at the beginning, because obviously you used Tsunami, so you couldn't have done that. So what I would have done in that situation is get past the 50k as fast as possible using all the thresholds, using adrenaline potion. Do you have an adrenaline potion? Oh wait, you might not. You need an adrenaline potion as well. Very important. Big DPS buffs is going to come from using Sunshine and then an Adrenaline Potion and then Threshold straight away. You're going to get massive DPS out of that. And obviously having your DPS prayer on as well is going to be very big too. But that's pretty much how you want to output DPS. You want to just drop a Sunshine, you want to use an Adrenaline Potion, and then you want to use Threshold as quick as possible. Wild Magic, Asphyxiate, Detonate with something else, all that sort of good stuff, and then that's where a lot of damage is going to come from. But what I would do here, at 25k, you're going to get the core come out, and you're going to get the Adrenaline lost and stuff. So you've got enough adrenaline right now. If you use one more basic, you could Sunshine, and then you could get through that last phase nice and quick if you had an Adrenaline Potion. You could Sunshine here, and then you could Adrenaline Potion and deal with that last 25k super fast. You're going to probably tank a couple of hits here to get through it, but it won't be too bad because of Crit Bloom and stuff. You might actually beat it. You did beat it, so that's fine. But you could drop the Sunshine earlier on, and it'll carry through, and you'll get more damage out of it. Absolutely. But again, your food is absolutely fine. And I think the kill time was... Does it say? Does it say what the kill time was? I don't think it does anywhere. It might be cut off somewhere in the chat. But I think it was fine. It was, what, like 6 minutes maybe? I think 5 to 6 minutes. That's not too bad. So, overall, the things I would do is I would change your food from Rocktails to Blue Blubbers, just in case you do need to eat. I would focus on fixing the action bar. Again, I'll talk about it and I'll link it down in the description for anyone else who also thinks, oh, maybe I need to fix my action bar as well. Revo++ is fine. We just need to make sure it's set up properly. But I would highly recommend, if you guys can, going to normal Revolution where you have all your basics first and then thresholds afterwards, and you can control your thresholds. Like, think about it like this. You can let the game completely do all of your basics, all of them. But then you've got 3 thresholds, kind of, really, 3 or 4 that you'll have to press yourself, and then an ultimate. So 5 keybinds, you can put them on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you can have your Wild Magic on 1, your Asphyxiate on 2, your Detonate on 3, and then Gothic Staff Essence of Finality, if you have it, on 4. And that's pretty much it. Like, you don't need to use Tendrils before you've got Staff of Armadillo as well, because it's a trash ability. Just don't bother, unless you're getting it for adrenaline gain for some reason. It's very specific stuff, doesn't matter. But other than that, you got Omni Power as well if you can get the cape, but it's not worth it before the cape. So you just want to have Sunshine on 6, and that's pretty much it. Like, it's just between those. Make sure you use your DPS prayer. Make sure that's set up and on all the time. And then, of course, you can just fix your action bar. Make sure you use Rack and Ruin whenever you can as well. You don't have Combust on there. Combust might look like a low hitting ability damage because of the fact that it's a bleed, but it hits better than most of your other basics. I think Combust does more than Chain, than Rack, than maybe more than Dragon Breath. I think it does. Over the whole duration, I think Combust does more, especially if the target moves, definitely. So, and if you're combining it with the Rack of Ruin as well, even better. So you do have quite a bit of damage to get there. The perks I would fix, I would take the Biting Four off of your defender once you can and put it on your top. And I think then you're kind of alright with your perks. You just need to get like Equilibrium 2 or Aftershock, Equilibrium 4, sorry, or Aftershock or something like that on your defender. You got Precise on your main hand, which is good. But otherwise, I think you're okay. It's just a few things. Like, make sure you're using your Sunshine better. Like, not better, but like, just make sure you're using it in general. Get rid of the Tsunami altogether for now. Use an Adrenaline Potion every time you use Sunshine. If you've got like 100k damage to deal, if you're starting a new phase, just drop Sunshine, use an Adrenaline Potion, and beat the crap out of the boss with Thresholds. That's pretty much a basic damage rotation, and that will definitely help a lot. Also, take your scrolls out of your Familiar, because the Familiar cannot damage Araxi. But everywhere else, scrolls, Familiar, definitely good. And in that situation, if you're killing anything else as well, changing your Super Restore for a Spiritual Prayer Potion will also mean your Ripper Demon will use more scrolls as well. Meaning that you get more damage. So just something else to mention for different places. But overall, dude, you're doing good. It's just going to be a few gear upgrades and stuff, which you could. I think you've already upgraded your Lantern to a Calcite Defender, or Rebounder, or whatever it's called, which is good. I'll have to find out about your perks on that. And you could use Ring of Death. Honestly, I think you could probably just use Ring of Death. You were nowhere near death anyway, but if you're not going to use Ring of Death, then you could grab like a crit ring, one of the good rings, like a Reaver's ring or a Channeler's ring. I'm just assuming you got unlimited money at this point. Just add it to your shopping list, so you'll get there. Work towards getting an Essence of Finality with the Gothic Staff. That's like your next big damage upgrade, because I know you want to camp a defender, and that's absolutely fine. It makes sense. So work on an Essence of Finality with a Gothic Staff in it. Get Great Concentrated Blast. That's going to be freaking huge. And other than that, once we fix your action bar, which I'll do with you in Discord, and I'll link it down in the description for you guys here. And you're always welcome to message me on Discord and go over your Revolution bars and stuff, everyone. I think you'll be fine. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I hope this video helped. If it did, do leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Channel members, your names will be on screen, of course. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And other than that, thank you everybody for watching. I appreciate you all too, and I'll catch you all in the next one. See you later, guys.